What's up, guys? It's Nightwing 2303 from WearTesters.com. Today is Ask Nightwing number 5. So let's just go ahead and get right into it. All right, so Anish Malav, he says, "Hey Chris, can you tell me the difference between zoom units, zoom air, and air max?" Well, zoom units are zoom air. I just call them, I'll call, depending on the tech, so like if it's max air or air max, I'll say like a air max unit or a max unit or air unit. And if it's zoom air unit, then, or zoom air, then I'll just call it like a zoom unit or whatever. So zoom units and zoom air is the same thing. Difference between zoom air and max air is zoom air is very low profile and very responsive. So when you apply pressure to that airbag, or they're both airbags, but if you apply pressure to the zoom air unit, it will compress and then deflect the energy, whereas air max will compress and absorb, and that's it. It will return to shape, but it will not deflect or create like a response in response to your pressure or weight. So zoom air, typically it was originally created for guards, smaller players, quicker players, things like that. Player that would usually want some type of cushion, but more court feel. And then air max units were made for bigger guys, just like straight up high impact absorption, which is what the main two differences are. Now you have different types of zoom. You have 360 zoom, which is and the zoom that was in the KD7, the heel, which is a 180 max zoom. Those are made more like an air max unit, but with the fibers from a zoom air unit. So if you look inside, there's only a couple pillars and there's more fibers. Those are the fibers that will compress and then deflect. So yeah, the max zoom units are made for ultimate, it's like a combination of the two. It's ultimate impact absorption plus response and deflection. So whereas with zoom, you're only getting one, you know what I mean? Like you're getting some impact protection, but mostly responsiveness or deflection of the energy that you put into it. And then air max is just absorption. The max zoom units are combining the two and giving you that. So as far as which ones, you didn't ask this, but I'm going to say, because that's probably going to be the next question is, or not the next question here, but somebody will ask me afterwards, is which one do I prefer? I don't prefer air max. I don't like how dense it kind of feels sometimes. I do prefer zoom when done properly, and I do like the max zoom units. I think they're super comfortable, whether you're playing in them or not. They're just like really comfortable, and you can feel that kind of like responsive or bouncy ride, you know, whether you're running and jumping or you're just walking down the street. The only problem that I have with those units is just the flexibility is like greatly lacking because they are a lot thicker than a typical zoom unit. So but yeah, that's pretty much it. Good question though. Tech questions are always fun to do. And next question is Stefan Cruiser. He says, "Hey Nightwing, I'm a big fan of Reebok Answers. I've read the 3s are coming back at some time. Do you know anything about that and which models of the line are going to be retroed next? Really a fan of your videos. Thanks." Thank you very much. And I can't remember if I heard that or not. I want to say that I did, but I'm not positive. But yeah, if the Answer 3s come back, I think that would be dope, as long as they do it right. If they don't put that DMX iPack in there, I'm probably going to pass on them if they do release, just because like I got the Answer 4s, and I mean, I love that shoe, but I don't even wear it. I have like 2, 3, I think I have like 3 pairs of them, and I don't wear any of them because they don't feel like the originals. And I mean, I have the same problem with Nike, I have the same problem with Jordan, Adidas, and all that stuff. Is like when you put out a retro and you change stuff, like I don't mind if you change it for the better, you know what I mean? As long as it's really for the better. If you're changing it and you're just saying that it's for the better, but it's really not, and maybe a basic consumer might not understand, like, oh yeah, they said that they changed it for the better, so it's for the better. But if someone like me wears it and I'm like, dude, you changed, like say like the Kobe line, for example, from Adidas, the old Kobe line, the crazy, they call them like the crazy whatever now. So just take one of those, like the crazy ones, you changed. That's one shoe where the brand said that they changed those for the better for performance. They slimmed down the upper, which to me translates to they cut costs. I mean, let's be honest. The upper on that shoe originally was not that like crazy thick in comparison anyway. So you're cutting costs, and then you're saying that you're slimming down materials to reduce weight, which is a bunch of BS. And then they take the traction and they take it from one thing and change it to another. That was a performance upgrade in my opinion, so I did enjoy that. But then they go and take the cushion. The entire midsole used to be EVA, or not EVA, adiprene, and they changed it to EVA. You know, EVA is just not. It's basic. There's nothing there. It's like a dense. They can make it good. They've had good EVA setups before, but this new EVA setup just wasn't. It just wasn't as good as adiprene. So, and I don't care what you say. I know that adiprene is more expensive than EVA, and so by you cutting corners basically, and then you tell me that it's because of a performance upgrade or whatever, I just, I mean, I know for a fact that it's BS. So if Reebok releases the Answer 3s, I'd be excited just because the Answer 3 is coming back. But if they release the Answer 3s and they just cheap it out and cut stuff, cut corners, cut material costs, they don't put the cushion back in there, they use DMX foam, which they used originally 3D ultralight foam, which was ass too, but so and that shoe didn't have any good traction or nothing like that. But still, if they don't make it the same, I just don't want to buy it. The only ones that I will do that with is a Jordan or sometimes a Nike, and usually it's because those designs are just so nice that I can sometimes look past it. You know what I mean? Like the Air Up 2014 retro from Nike, it's a piece of junk, but I like the design so much that I bought it anyways. I wear it occasionally, but it's not like they took the air units out. You know what I mean? It's not like they took out cushion tech and things like that. They just kind of messed up the materials. So, and Nike will never tell you that they've done something like that for a performance upgrade or whatever, because they even know that they're BSing you. So they won't do anything like that. They'll just cut materials and put it out and be like, yo, if you want it, then you waste your money on it. So, but yeah, so if Reebok does that, great. If they do it wrong, then, it is what it is. I mean, I'm not going to waste my time with brands that continually disappoint. And that's my main thing, is that at least I'm happy with certain aspects of Nike retros and Jordan retros and things like that. They bring back memories. They're still usually functional. All that stuff, they might have slimmed down the zoom units or whatever it might be, the air units and stuff, but at least it's still there. It's not like they take that thing out completely and put in something else and then tell you some BS answer saying oh yeah, it's for a performance reason. It's not. It's because they're cheap, and it's stupid. Okay, so Adrian Ortiz, he says, "Hi Nightwing, my name is Javon, and I have two questions for you. One, do you think Adidas will change the upper of the D Rose 5 if they decide to make a 5.5? And two, do you think D Lillard's new shoe will be a good performer even though we've only seen pictures of it? Thanks. Keep up the great videos. P.S. I can't wait for the performance reviews on the Jordan 20, 21, 22, and 23. Me either. I've been waiting to do those for a while. I really want to play in the 23s, and I really want to play in the 21s again. I used to play in the 21s a long time ago, when they first originally released, and I used to hoop in the low top ones, and I liked the shoe and everything, but yeah, I really want to play in the 23s though. That one I'm itching for. I wish that I could just skip straight to the 23s, but I am stubborn, and I'm no, I gotta go in order. So, but as far as the questions go, yeah, they'll change the if they do a 5.5, which they probably will. I think they've done a 0.5 for all of the roses ever since the first one, so I don't see why they wouldn't. But the only thing they ever do change on the 0.5 model is the upper. The shoe, in my opinion, is a complete waste. There's no real upgrades. All they do is they change some of the material designs and layout up top. They maybe give you more ventilation or whatever. but it's the same exact shoe. So I think that the .5 series in the Rose line is usually garbage. I think the 2.5 and the 1.5 were the two where they were different enough where you know, the one and the 1.5 was drastically different, and then the 2 and the 2.5 were drastically different, and then they went to the 3, and the 3 and the 3.5 are literally the same shoe with a different upper. 4 and the 4.5, same thing. And if they do the same thing with the 5, with the 5.5, I mean, it's the same thing. I just think it's a waste of time. It's treating your consumers as if they're idiots, and I don't agree with it. I just think it's dumb. And the sad part is that consumers are dumb enough to be like, hey, review this shoe. And it's like, I don't know if you're trolling or if you're serious and you just are like you can't see that it's literally the same shoe with a different upper. I don't understand the point of that. And if you're holding out hope that maybe they changed something, like, don't hold your breath, dude. It's a company. Like, they didn't change nothing. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same shoe. So yeah, it's just a stupid ass marketing thing, and I don't like it. At least if Jordan Brand does a .5, their .5 is different. The 14.5 is different than the 14 and the 15. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least it's a different shoe. It might be trash, but it's a different shoe. So not a trash performer, just trash looking. Yeah. So I just, you know, for whatever reason, the .5 series with Adidas is a joke. And they treat the consumers as if they're stupid, and for some reason some of the consumers are stupid and they buy into it, and I mean, whatever, dude. But yeah, so I'm not saying that you're stupid, by the way. I'm just saying, you know, hey, your name on your email, Adrian Ortiz, is not Javon, so I just caught that. So, but anyways, their second question is about the Lillards, and do I think that they're going to be a good performer? I mean, I don't know. We only saw basic pictures. I don't even remember what the traction looked like, or if they even showed it. And the shoe looked kind of funky too. So, from what I can remember, they look kind of clunky. And actually, let me look up the shoe. So, let's see. Oh yeah. Yeah, they look a little clunky, but they kind of look like a trainer, honestly. They're super low top. They got an internal booty system. I mean, they might be okay, you know what I mean? No pictures of the traction or nothing like that. And, yeah, the one thing that I wish Adidas did, though, like, they use, like, synthetics and stuff on their upper. I wish they used just, like, some, like, nice materials, you know what I mean? Like, I like it when they use premium synthetics because they're at least more, like, they're better than the synthetics that they typically use. But if you're going to charge, like the Lillards are a different thing because they're going to be a lower budget model, but like for like the Rose, for example, like if you're going to charge $140, like give me $140 worth of material, you know what I mean? So but yeah, that's something that I have a problem with Adidas, is most of their stuff, and the stuff that they do right, like Tech Fit and stuff like that, then they don't put it on their shoes unless it's a runner, and that really irritates me too, because I don't like to run. I like to play basketball, and I like to use that same tech. But yeah, as far as the Lillards, I don't know if they're going to perform well. They look like a basic shoe, so I'm going to say as long as the fit and the traction is good, then you'll be solid, and then the cushion is going to be up to the person. It looks like it's just going to be EVA, possibly Adiprene, like the walls. Actually, I'll probably say that it's going to be Adiprene because the walls were 115 and they give you Adiprene. So if they give you anything less than that in the Lillard, I think it's going to be a garbage shoe. Like, I wouldn't even pay attention to it. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for asking the question. That was another good one. All right, so let's see. This person's name is Chris, or Basket Thoughts. He says, "Hey Chris, I want to ask you what you think about the upcoming Nike Irving 1. Will it be better than the J Wall 1? The price looks pretty much the same. Honestly, I think these will be on the same level. Keep up doing the good. Cheers." So I've been playing in the Wall 1. I've been testing that for a couple of weeks now, and they are decent shoes. The only thing that I don't like about the Wall, like 100%, is the traction. I think it could be a lot more consistent. because even on like really clean floors, I get a little bit of like slipping and stuff. So, but I really love that upper on the wall. The upper on the wall is fantastic. And then lockdown is really good too. Cushion is okay, depends on how long you're playing. I'll explain all this in their performance review though. As far as the Irving one being better than the wall one, that traction just visually looks like it will be, so that's probably one aspect. I don't know overall, because I mean it really depends on what people need, you know what I mean? So I like to break things down by attribute. So take your attribute that you find more or most important and then rank them. So traction might be your number one priority, then cushion, or possibly fit. Those are my two, is traction, fit, then cushion. And then once you do that, then you can compare things and be like, oh, so the traction on, theoretically, I don't know for sure, the Irving is better than the wall, so there's 1 plus for the Irving, right? And just say by chance the fit is better than in the wall than the Irving, right? So there's 1 point for wall, so they're tied up 1-1. That tiebreaker is going to be a cushion. Wall uses adiprene, and then Irving uses, I don't know what it's going to use, but just say, for example, it uses Zoom Air or something, right? And we know that the Irving is going to be a low budget model. They're going to be the same price, actually. They're going to be $115. And say they got Zoom Air. Say the Zoom Air is awesome in that shoe, right? And so the Zoom Air and then the traction are better in the Irving than the wall, which has a really good plus in the fit. So default 2 out of 3, you know what I mean? Like the Irving wins by your standard, whatever that standard might be based on your attributes that you need. So that's how I figure it. That's how I pick my shoes. So as long as they have what I need, then that's that. There's not really a like, hey, is this shoe better than this shoe? It's just there's going to be certain features on each shoe that cater towards certain people, and that's pretty much how it works. So if you like certain things on the wall more, you know what I mean, like materials, say that's your number one thing. You need like a nice soft upper that needs no break in time. The wall might be the winner to that. So that might hold the wall above the Irving in your mind based on your standards. So that's how to go about it. Yeah, as far as price though, they'll be the same price. So we'll see what happens. All right, so Caleb, he asked, hey Nightwing, Nike has their big three, LeBron, Durant, Kobe. If Adidas had a big three, who do you think would be their signature athletes? Thanks and keep up the good work. There's a freaking squirrel outside, like, barking away. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it's annoying me. So, as far as the question goes, Adidas does have their big three. They have Lillard, they have Wall, they have Rose. And then you can kind of throw in Howard, but I mean, he's garbage. As far as a signature athlete goes, I'm not saying skill-wise. So Adidas has their big three, and then Adidas also has everybody else, it feels like. Like they got Lynn, they got Wiggins, they got a bunch of random hip-hop people for some reason, like Pharrell and Kanye and all that stuff. So yeah, Adidas is good as far as like endorsements and stuff. They pretty much pick up everybody. If it's not Adidas, then it's what is it? Under Armour's like grabbing people left and right too. So, but yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. And Adidas got a big three, just like Nike does. The difference between the two is that Nike's athletes tend to stay healthier longer, just purely coincidence. Although Kobe and Durant have had their issues recently, and then LeBron last year didn't even wear the damn shoe. So you can't tell me that like Nike's got a perfect track record with all that stuff. So, because I know a lot of people like to bag on Adidas, saying that people that wear their shoes get injured and stuff, which isn't true. So, but yeah, that's pretty much that. All right, so Jordan Wong asks, hi again, Nightwing. Really quick question regarding your process and all with Brand Black. Is the trials and testing and input given similar to what Nike Jordan Brand would be doing for their wear testing process? Thanks, Nightwing knows. Yeah, basically all the brands are looking at the same stuff when they're creating performance shoes. They want to know how good their cushion is, how good their traction is, how durable everything is, and things like that. And that's the info that you'll give to all these brands when you're testing products for them. Now, as far as reviewing them goes, like no shoe is really perfect. So while like Brand Black, I've been wear testing their stuff, giving them feedback, they make changes. I'll wear the new thing, give them feedback, they make changes, and so on and so forth. Just because that happens doesn't mean that they're going to get like a 10 out of 10 out of everything, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like there's still going to be things that they can work on. There's always something that you could do better, no matter what. So, you know, it doesn't matter what brand it is, Jordan, Nike, Brand Black, all that stuff. Like they're never giving the best of the best because there's never like an end to that. You know what I mean? So it's like your skills on court. Like you're the best ball handler or whatever around. There's going to be somebody better than you, so you better keep working. You know what I'm saying? So it's those kinds of things where you got to have that type of mentality, and that's mostly where their innovation process comes from, because they could do something, say, perfectly, and then they can enhance that or try or completely try something different, just to push the boundaries, and then they might fall short, you know what I mean, compared to last year, but hey, at least they tried. So that's the kind of stuff that you got to look for. So like woven uppers, Kobe 9, Flyknit, a lot of glue backing that stuff, so it's very stiff and just cardboard-like. And then the 29s, complete woven, no glue, just straight up stitch after stitch after stitch, layer after layer. I mean, you took the Kobe 9 and then you just like enhanced the hell out of it. Problem is durability. So I mean, it's like little things like that, and all that kind of stuff. So you know, it doesn't matter. But all brands look at the same stuff. But everything's going to be different no matter what. Like there will never be anything perfect, because brands are constantly trying to push things. So, but yeah, that's my opinion, at least on the subject. But all brands for sure looking for the same thing, which is to create the best, most innovative performance product possible. Okay, so Vincent, he says, this might be too late, but I was wondering if the Gray Toe 13s are hyped up or not. This will help me decide whether or not to stay up, camp out for them. Thanks, keep up the great. Sorry, I'm my bad. So, I guess they were kind of hyped up. I don't know. I mean, I think that was like an easier pickup. I know that like I walked in the store like the day after and they still had sizes, my size, for example. So I think they're gone online now, but check your stores. You never know. That goes with any retro, except for the ones that you know are going to be like gone like that, like 11s. 11s especially. Those are like the only ones that I can like really pick out, because that's like Hypebeast Central. But black infrared 6s and you know what I mean, stuff like that. Those black and red 13s that are coming out, I don't know if those are going to sell. I think those are, they already did a black and red 13 and look way better than that thing. So I'm not going to buy those. So that might be one that sits for a little bit. But yeah, as far as hype goes, I don't know for sure, because every like area is different. So like in my area, maybe everybody loves the infrared 6s, but maybe in your area everybody hates them, so they're going to sit. You know what I mean? So it just depends on location and all that kind of stuff. This one's a kind of a long question. There's a lot of questions in this one email, so this is going to be the last question, because I don't remember when I started this and I don't want to go too long. So it's basically, his name's Mr. M, and he says, hi, I'm a big fan of you. I've seen almost all of your videos. Thanks for all the reviews. Keep up the great work. I'm also a Jays fan. So these are random personal questions. Hope you don't mind. Question 1, which Air Jordan 1 through 14 is your favorite performance shoe? Question 2, which Air Jordan 1 through 14 is your favorite fashion shoe? Question 3, if you can only use one pair of kicks for the rest of your life, Air Jordan 1 through 14, which would it be? 4, if you can only use one pair of kicks for the rest of your life, any other brand, which would it be? 5, your top 5 kicks, all brands. Thanks, and may the force be with you. Ha ha ha. These are hard questions. Alright, so we'll start with question 1. Which Air Jordan 1 through 14 is my favorite performance shoe? Right now I'd probably have to go with the 12 once broken in. Pain in the ass to break in, but really great shoe afterwards. Super comfortable. The 14's also. The 14's a really fun shoe to play in. and probably the 13. I know that that's not one, but like if I were gonna pick a retro, it would be one of those. The 12 is probably first, and then the 13s, 14s. I mean, they're pretty much the same shoe, so you can switch those around and get almost the same performance out of both of them. Which Air Jordan 1 through 14 is your favorite fashion shoe? That would probably be the 4. But then, I mean, so many of them look dope. Like, the 1s, can't go wrong with 1s. The 3s are clean as hell. The 4s are awesome. The 5s are great. 6s look sick. You know, the 10 is just a really simple shoe. So, I mean, that's like simplicity, but like looks great also. The 11s, of course, I mean, those look clean pretty much all the time. 12s are a favorite of mine too. So I mean, I can give you like a different answer depending on the day, but for sure the 4s are probably like the most rockable because they got that kind of like I don't know, they are very well balanced between fashion and like retro feel, but then they kind of feel modern also. So like that design is just like iconic. So question 3, if I can only use one pair of kicks from the Air Jordan line 1 through 14, which would it be for the rest of my life? That one's hard, man. Again, I'd probably pick the 12 just because if it's only one pair of kicks and I got to hoop in them, I got to walk around in them and all that stuff, like casual, like on court, off court, probably the 12 is the sturdiest also. And 12 or 14, you know what I mean? Or 13. One of those three, just because I'm thinking performance also, and I don't want to be uncomfortable. Because I know playing in some of the older stuff, while they're playable, they might not be the best, like comfort-wise, like, especially for someone like me, or like the polyurethane midsoles kill, and all that stuff. So I'd probably pick one of the newer models. So 12, 13, or 14. One of those three for sure. Question 4, which one pair of kicks would I use for the rest of my life? Any brand? You know, I actually don't know. I want to say like the Reebok Question, but then I also want to say like one of the Pennies or the Pippins. And the Pippin 2s are sick, dude. On court, off court. Again, the Iversons, Penny 2s are awesome. I would actually be really okay with wearing and playing in a pair of brand black J crossover 2s forever, because I'm telling you, man, those things are super comfortable. The upper is really comfortable and the cushion is really comfortable too. So actually somebody asked me to show these one time, and it was like already, I think it was in the comment section or whatever, but this is the J crossover 2. They've shown it on their like Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and all of their social accounts and all that stuff, but I can't see the screen very well from where I'm sitting, so I'm hoping that these are somewhat in focus. But this is like this upper up here, from here up, it's just all woven, and it's like a sock. It's like super comfortable. They use these like roundish laces. They're kind of like fat, round, oval laces, and those things are really comfortable. The tongue is super thin and breathable, but when you pull those laces really tightly, they don't like hurt your foot or whatever. They don't like cut off circulation or pinch or nothing like that. So I like that. The back is weird looking, but it's fashionable, I guess, so that's cool. The comfort from the cushion, though, they use their newer Jetlon cushion, is super comfortable. Traction is dope, and I love that Brand Black uses blue bottoms on all their shoes. It's like those red bottom like high heels or whatever that chicks like to wear. I don't know the name of the brand, but you know, if you see like a red bottom like high heel, you know, like, oh, that's a whatever. That's like a whatever brand or whatever, and so that's what this is like here. Yeah, this is a really dope shoe. Really love this. I would not mind wearing this for the rest of my life. Top 5 kicks from all brands. Man, I can't. I would have to like sit here and like really think about it. So, well, actually, I have my top 10 list right here. So for the 2014, and I'll just give you a couple of models that are on it that are like really great models. They're all different brands. The J Crossover 2 is one of them. Clutch Fit Drive was another one. Under Armour. 29, Jordan brand. LeBron 12, Nike. And I mean, there's a 5th slot open, so the TP1 peak, you know what I mean? So that's 5 shoes, 5 brands. Not my top 5 of all time or anything like that, but those are 5 of the top 10 for the year. So every brand has something to offer, which I think is great, especially now. There's finally some like competition as far as like, you know, brand to brand, like peak to Jordan brand and stuff like that. There's finally competition on court as far as performance goes. It's up to the consumer to level the playing field. Try out a peak, try out J crossover, try out the LeBron 12, which I mean, everybody's gonna buy a LeBron and all that stuff, or like a Jordan, and all that stuff. But try out something different. You know what I mean? Like, just try it. You're not gonna be disappointed. You might be a little bit like, oh, this could be better or whatever, and all that stuff. But I mean, you're just kind of like, you're just giving yourself different feels for other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's like eating a steak. You can eat a steak so many different ways. Which way do you like it, though? You know what I mean? And same thing with shoes. There's so many different shoes, and by trying each one, you're definitely for sure going to find out what exactly it is that you like, whether it be from multiple brands or one single brand. At least you'll know because you've tried it. You know what I'm saying? You can't just tell me, oh, everything's garbage because Nike's the best, right? Like, you can't tell me that if you've never tried Under Armour, you never tried Peak, you never tried Brand Black, you never tried Adidas, you never tried anything. If you've never tried anything but Nike, you can't tell me, I cannot take your opinion seriously. Your opinion's ass because you've never tried nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've only tried Nike. So so it's one of those types of things where just try out what's out there. There's tons of stuff. All brands got something to offer for somebody, and I think it's awesome. So that is Ask Nightwing number 5. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for all the questions. You can always ask questions to asknightwing@gmail.com. And I'll see you guys next weekend. So till next time, guys, have a good one.